I got the honors to turn on the camera, so
I'm very
thank you. This is very, very rare. Hey guys, welcome to the Gotta Have Miami show. This is episode
39. And at the Gotta Have Miami show, we're talking about culture, politics, and how that integrates with real estate, influences the market specifically here in Miami.
Way to slide in that intro.
You like that?
That's pretty good.
Well, in our new studio.
Yeah, actually, this is actually pretty good. We may just like sell the office and just kind of work out of here all the time.
Yeah, we're at Regatta Park, and they have these like wonderful cement benches that are actually quite comfortable and seem to be a good setup for the podcast.
Absolutely, I think so. And it's got great lighting, and you get some people walking around, and it's actually pretty good. So we are in Coconut Grove. We are in Regatta Park. It was built actually to accommodate some of the boating industry that we have. A lot of people don't realize that we're one of the top sailing centers in the United States and in the world. And we have the U.S. Sailing Center here. Yeah. And then we also run some of the regattas. That's Regatta Park. Right on the backside, and over there where the harbor house is. So I think it's a lot of folks don't realize what this park's about.
Well, so here we are.
So
and if you haven't come check it out.
Exactly.
It's
a great place. It's centrally located now. It's over by the new fancy restaurant.
Regatta Harbor?
No.
Oh no.
Hey, whatever.
we're gonna
get hammered. We're gonna get hammered on this one also. Hey, where the Scotties used to be. How's that?
There you go.
All right. So we said we had an announcement, so we're gonna tease the announcement. So we
hang tight.
We're here in Regatta Park for a reason. Well, the reason is we couldn't get into Simpson Park.
Right. That's part of the reason.
Right, that's part of the reason why we're here in Regatta Park, because we couldn't get into Simpson Park because they close at 3 o'clock. But we will shoot an episode from there hopefully next week. And,
with all the spiders.
Yeah, spiders, and it's actually a great little park. Most people don't know about it. It's right in the middle. So that's it. So we did get a question from a viewer, which I was very happy about. We've asked you guys always. Like if you have any questions or stuff like that. So one of them, we spoke about Airbnb on the last show. Yeah. And they asked, where can we get the information to know what your zoning is? Right. So the first thing you can do is actually, if you go on your tax sheet, it'll tell you your zoning on your tax sheet. And if you go onto a site called miamigov.com, which is the City of Miami's website.
You can look up your address.
Yeah. But on top of that, you can also look at what we call Miami 21 in the articles. And in the articles, you're going to see what T3 is, T4, T5. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons why people argue that you can't build this kind of building. We've talked about it on Grand Avenue. The reason Grand Avenue hasn't been activated is because the properties are T5 and they've paid too much money for the land to only be able to do T5. There they need to go at least T12 to be able to activate the properties at a price where the developer can make any kind of money. But hey, they overpaid for the land. It's their problem. Not mine. Sorry, bad move.
I'm sure that they'll get the zoning eventually, but it's going to take...
Well, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
What about it? With the announcement?
Yeah.
Oh, this has a lot of excitement. So yeah, that's where you can find that information where you're T3. But rule of thumb, if you see a lot of single family homes,
no Airbnb.
No Airbnb. If you see little duplexes, no Airbnb. Right. If you see some buildings and stuff like that, maybe you can get away with some stuff.
Maybe.
But that's really the gist of it.
Well, we've been busy this week.
We have been super busy. And my weekend is ruined because we got showings.
Excuse me.
I know. I hate that.
I know. I have showings already on the schedule for this weekend too. We have 3 rental listings. Yep. All very different listings,
which we want to talk about because a lot of we mentioned this earlier on. All of the pundits come up with all of these statistics, and we say we're on the ground all the time. And these 3 actually reflect 3 different segments of the market.
A complete different segments. I mean, from price point to just
location,
like culturally,
style,
the person's style, what they prefer. So first one, we have Studio in Brickell.
We have a Studio in Brickell. So your clientele for that type of product is, you get a lot of people that are relocating.
Yes, lots of relocation.
A lot of younger folks that are looking for a rental. Yeah. So that demographic, that dynamic is one specific, how shall we say, active real estate looker client customer.
They're pretty well Google educated.
Right. So they're that's a good one. They can do the Google.
Yeah.
So that segment is one, and it's a Brickell apartment. The other one is on 15th.
Yeah, that's a little multifamily.
Yep.
It's a
little
one
duplex.
bedroom, and that brings in a lot of locals.
Yep.
That's like a lot. That's everyone like works down the street, has lived in Miami their whole life.
Yep.
That's the.
But that can bring in a family unit, something that's a little bit more, like you said, local. Let's call it. The word would be working class.
Yeah.
As we would say, we always say that we're going for affordable housing. We're going to do that workforce housing.
Yeah.
This is the type of housing that attracts that individual because of the price point, the location,
right,
the proximity
and
to
the
all,
type.
and the type of property that it is. And then we have a single family home
in Silver Bluff, the best neighborhood in Miami,
outside of Coconut Grove. So we have this little,
who's better?
Right, who's better thing going on here.
At least you can afford in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's harsh. That is true, by the way. So that's a different product, brings in a completely different client.
Right.
That product is over $4,000.
Correct.
So we're looking at different segments, but the key element, I think, the takeaway is that you see different folks for different types of properties. Like my folks that are looking, the ones that are looking for the 15.
Yeah.
Price point's very similar. They're not going to go to Brickell.
Correct. They don't want to be in a building. They don't want that chaos. Yeah. They probably work like outside of Brickell. The only reason I think people want to live in Brickell, whether you're coming from out of state or you're local, is because you work in Brickell.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's really hard to get in and out of Brickell, especially by car.
I had a client send me a note saying, is it close? Is there any construction going on close to the building? I said,
lots of it.
Yo, it's Brickell.
It's all construction.
That's all. It doesn't matter. And if there isn't right now, there will be in a week or two. So if you want to live urban, Brickell is the place. It's got a great vibe, but it is a metropolitan.
Correct. Very
downtown,
metropolitan. And if
downtown.
you're interested, reach out to us, because this unit, although studio, if you're a single person and want a view of the water,
great view of the water,
this is it.
Yep.
Yeah, I really love it.
Yeah, and then the other. But again, I think it's the dynamic when people tell us, "Oh, this is happening in the market, and that's happening because this statistic says this or that." It's like, guys, we see it every day. I mean, this is where we roll. This is our town.
And then back to Miami. Miami is just different than what your national headlines are. This week I saw on social media somewhere one of the
social media.
Oh
my god!
One of the real estate
was it
pages.
Twittered?
I don't know.
Does that still exist?
Yeah, it does, but
okay.
I can't
Just
keep up
checking.
with it. One of the pages reported that the number 2 place for the wealthy to buy property is Miami. Number 1 being Dubai. So
I'm not going to Dubai.
No, I'm not going to Dubai either. But that's just to show.
Sorry, Dubai.
That's just to show that's why Miami moves differently than the rest of the nation. Is we have these other exterior influences that the rest of the country doesn't have. I mean, and New York used to have it. I'm not familiar with New York real estate. I'm sure, there's still a lot of international players there. But I don't know. Miami's
since the Russians decided to attack Ukraine, that market kind of went to tank. Sorry, guys. Again, Ashley brings up a really good point. Miami has, and we're a paradox of just everything. You can spend $1 million bazillion here, and you can also go to Versailles. By the way, the owner passed away recently.
That's true.
Rest in peace. And
big influence on Miami.
Yeah, huge influence on Miami. But again, you could go into there and actually, spend, very little money and be able to do, eat and all that good stuff while you can spend $1 bazillion. And that's really been one of our great things about the city of Miami.
Yeah, like you get a full meal with a cafe con leche for like $5.
Right. So we've had some dude just decide to park in the front behind us and start talking.
Start yelling.
Which is also a Miami thing, by the way.
Yeah, it's also very unique to Miami. Yeah. Lots of yelling, not because we're angry.
No, just because we need to communicate. And we still don't put on our blinkers.
And then also something that happens in Miami every year, Art Basel.
For the last 20 years.
Causes lots of traffic, but also brings a lot of attention internationally.
Yep, absolutely.
You get all types of visitors to the state, and they're here for Art Basel. Yep. They're going to restaurants, they're getting hotels.
It activates, and we become a happening place. And going back to the condo that we have over in Brickell, yesterday I set up some showings, and the person said that they were coming in at 12 and decided to come in at 12:45, and I had to be
on time for my
right. That's but unfortunately I had to be up in Northwest 54th Street because again, we moved through all of Miami. It's not like we just sat in one little neighborhood, which I know the Grove is good as well as anybody else. You know, I've lived here since 1965. We've been here a long time. But again, if you move through the city of Miami, I think one of the things that we really do well is that we have really a good pulse of all of Miami. Yeah. Because we operate through the whole city, and I had to go up to Northwest 54th Street to rat out
illegal
dumper. Which we had on video and camera, and you have to go through the whole motion. It's like, oh my God, why people don't do it? And then from there, I had to go to Miami Springs. Oh, speaking of Miami Springs, so we had this like really hot property, and we had it. It came back on the market, so we're going to be revisiting Miami Springs. But it's something that tells me about the market that it has kind of started to, pulse a little bit more doable.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But again, we're on the ground. That's why we know these things. Yeah. What else you
got? We're just waiting on your announcement. We want to know.
Really? We want to know?
We want to know. What is this big announcement?
So the big announcement, I'm not ready for it. What else you got?
You're holding out like this for them?
How many minutes have we been on this thing?
They've been listening to us for 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Okay, we'll let you know on the announcement. All right. So obviously a lot of you know that, or some of you know that I ran for the City of Miami Commissioner several times. I ran and see, it's so excited the guy had to honk his horn in 2015 and in 2019. I got crushed both times because nobody wants to hear the truth, and that's just the reality. Nobody wants to hear the truth. If you want to be a truth teller, public service tends to be a little bit iffy. But our current commissioner, decided to run for Congress. No, he was going to run for Senate. Got killed there. Congress got blown out in Congress, so he had to resign his seat. And his seat resigns. He had to resign by January 3rd, which is where the position he was running for takes power, or inaugurated. So we were waiting. We had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, will you run for the open seat?" And I said, "Listen, I'm going to wait till the 3rd to see what's going to happen." But a lot of folks started tapping, so I threw my name into the ring. So I am officially a candidate for the interim position of Commissioner of City of Miami for District 2.
Okay.
And let's see what happens.
Is there anything that anybody can do to show support, or who makes the decision on who the next commissioner
So there's
will be?
several ways of doing it. Most of the time, the commissioners can appoint somebody that they can actually appoint anybody. It doesn't need to even be somebody that has thrown their hat into the ring. And right now, I think there's currently 10 individuals that are hat ringing thrown into the thing, but the commissioners can appoint some of their own folks, some of their own cronies if they want to, or they can go to a special election. I have heard rumors of both, that they may appoint somebody that isn't even on one of the candidates, or that it will go to a special election. And if it's a special election, it will be a how shall we say the word? Oh, shit show. Yeah. Because it is the City of Miami, and if it goes appointed, it's still going to be.
I think that will probably be more of
exactly. Yeah, so it's going to be unique. It'll all happen probably mid-January, but from a support standpoint, you can reach out to the commissioners if you know them. Tell them that I'm a wonderful guy, or that I'm not. Whatever floats your boat. And but again, I felt that knowing who was running, knowing some of the candidates that were there, I think from a qualification standpoint, I felt that I was comfortable doing it.
So go to the City of Miami website and familiarize yourself, if you live in the City of Miami, who is your commissioner. And, reach out to them, even if it's not about HAV, if you have any concerns in your neighborhood,
you should.
That's what they're there for.
You should, and they will respond to you, because I sent a note out to all 4 commissioners that would be in the voting, and none have replied to me. So that's kind of par for the course.
Well, it's you.
Not that I expected much anyway, but again, and it won't affect our real estate at all, because you're here.
I'm here.
Right, and again, the way that I operate, we're always around.
We're always
lurking throughout the whole city of Miami. So, but again, it's exciting. We'll see what happens from a qualification standpoint. Out of all the folks that are currently on that list, I feel that I'm comfortable knowing that I probably know Miami best. And that's one of the big mistakes that a lot of folks happen here, is that they fall in love with candidates that really have no history in the city of Miami, don't understand the city of Miami, and that's where we end up just kind of spinning the same wheels over and over and over again. And hopefully one day they'll see that, you know, you can be a real estate agent and be a good commissioner. Yeah, because again, what we do is we understand the market, we understand how the market affects people's lives, and how we can try to you know, make it a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to make, is that as realtors, we really see like personal situations of people, you know, because finding a house, whether it's buy or rent or sell,
can they afford it?
You see the struggles people go through.
And that's and again, realtors in the city of Miami from the electoral get a bad rap because, oh, we're all developers.
You're not a developer.
Just so you understand, I've never developed anything. I'm not planning on developing anything, but I can't call developers bullshit. So when I hear developers say certain things, I know that I can say that. Hence why I don't get elected. A lot of those reasons. But again, I did throw my hat into the ring. So stay tuned. It could be an exciting January.
All right. Well, we are looking forward to hearing what happens.
Yeah, and we want more questions.
Yeah, so please send us questions.
Guys, let us know.
If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that button. If you've already done that, send it to a friend so that they can also listen to us a couple times a week, a month, you know. Whenever we get to it with our busy schedules.
Exactly.
But that's what we got for you. Any questions? If you have any interest in rentals in the city of Miami, we have 3 on the market right now. They probably won't last long because it's been crazy, but if you'd like to check it out.
If you want an honest opinion on buying and selling, give us a shout too. We'll kind of tell you those things. And again, remember, fall in love with the house, not the rate.
That's true.
That's a key element. This market will always go up. It will always go down. It will always go up. It will always go down. But remember one thing about the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County: we do not have land, and so we will always have value. That's just one of our realities. So that's it.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. It's going to be very, very happening.
It is.
All right, guys.
Stay safe out there.
Bye.